What consumers think of front-of-package labeling, a pop-up greenhouse project, and the psychology of food aversions for December 14th, 2011. This is Food News Today. Good morning. If you have any thoughts or comments on today's show, I hope you'll email me or tweet me or send me a note on Facebook. Food News Today is sponsored by Conagra Foods, who shares with me the desire to provide the most current, interesting, and unbiased food news. You know what's up. Today's useless food history fun facts, and today is National Bouillabaisse Day. Fascinating. And also today, in 1503, Nostradamus was born. Now, we all know that he was an astrologer, but did you also know he was a cookbook author? Now, my favorite recipe is his famous plague remedy. Nothing like adding an ounce of sawdust to sweeten up a dish. Seriously. Front-of-package labeling is a hot topic these days as independent companies, supermarkets, and the government all want a piece of the label. But unfortunately, this is bringing about a lot of consumer confusion. In an attempt to understand just what consumers prefer, we surveyed the Supermarket Guru Consumer Panel on the topic. When asked which of the following label approaches they find the most valuable and easy to understand, a third say they like to read labels and ingredients and figure out if the product is right for them, instead of using these various label schemes. Now, the same amount also said they prefer the GMA and FMI facts up front, while 15% say they prefer the Institute of Medicines. Just 27% say they don't use the labels at all. Most important, almost 3/4 of consumers would like to see one standard front-of-package labeling scheme. Well, here's a place where front-of-package labeling just doesn't apply. It's the Greenhouse Project. Farmers markets, organic groceries, CSAs, they're a great way for many of us to buy our foods. But sometimes the farm-to-table foods aren't cheap or convenient and prevent many families from eating more healthy. The Greenhouse Project in Brooklyn is trying to change all that by creating a pop-up farm in Cypress Hills, which is a low-income neighborhood with extremely high obesity rates and very little access to nutritious food. A group of architects, engineers, and designers estimate that it could farm 8,000 pounds of produce every 12 weeks. The Greenhouse Project isn't just about growing fresh produce. The plan is also to turn the place into an educational hub for school field trips and for residents who want to learn about urban agriculture. The greenhouse is temporarily located on a plot of land owned by the city. And when the city decides they want to use the site, the greenhouse will be disassembled and moved to yet another site. Talk about the evolution of the pop-up store. Is there a food you just don't like and you have no idea why? Or perhaps a food that made you sick once and now you won't even go near it with a 10-foot pole? Well, it could be the result of a centuries-old survival mechanism. That, according to David Solat, a PhD student researching organizational psychology at Walden University. The survival mechanism is technically called a taste aversion, and it's one of the strongest conditioned reactions in our human body. Here's how it works. You eat something and another outside factor makes you sick to your stomach. So the next time you eat that same food, the smell of it makes you feel sick. This feeling is your brain protecting you from being poisoned. Now, thousands of years ago, we weren't sure what was safe to eat, so we tested things out. If something made you sick and you survived the experience, your brain had to make sure that you never ate that same food again. So your brain conditioned you to feel sick anytime you saw, smelled, or even thought about that food. And you know what happened? The people who were good at developing taste aversions lived and reproduced. The ones who were bad at it, well, they died. Luckily, today we're mostly able to overcome taste aversions. Consciously reminding ourselves that the food is not poison can help us interrupt that survival mechanism and convince the mind-body connection that the food is safe. Let me know if you have any food aversions and what food makes you sick. Email me, tweet me, or post your comments on our Supermarket Guru Facebook fan page and let me know what's on your food mind. That's our show. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a safe and healthy food week.